privileged to be asked as a life member to do something really special at this occasion. To give you a gift from all the members here that you can take back to Ireland as being here on Patrick's Day is very special as well to have you here. Believe me, we really appreciate that. Now, I'm a life member, and I'm lucky to be a member here at all, to be quite honest. And I'll tell you a little story. I've been here for a long time now. On one occasion here, I nearly brought down total diplomatic relations between Australia and New Zealand. And what happened was, our president here at the time was Tim Carroll, a lovely Galway man. And I was to come down here to help him with different shows on a Monday after we had a do here. So I came down as normal, and I came in here and he said, "I'm jolly well going to shoot you," he said. And I said, "What's the problem?" He said, "Well, I've had a ring," he said, "from a man," and he said he was Joe Little, the ambassador from Australia. Because at that time we didn't have an embassy here in New Zealand. And he said, "I blame you entirely. I got into all sorts of trouble because I used to answer the phone here as the Irish embassy because we didn't have an embassy." And he thought it was me ringing him. And he said to Joe Little, he said, "Get your bee down here and get these bottles out of here and clean up the place and stop fooling around, etc." And this went on for quite a while. And it ended up that Tim hung up on him. He was sure it was me. I answered the phone as the Irish embassy. So anyway, he put the phone down. He rang back later and said, "Look, I'll leave you my number in the hotel in Wellington to make sure that you understand exactly who I am. I am the ambassador from Australia." So they got together, long story. They got together in the afternoon, became great friends, had a few whiskeys together, and became lifelong friends, and had a huge impact on our club. So I'm lucky to be here. They're probably pretty picked me up. But it's my great privilege to give you this gift on behalf of all the members here. And it's lovely to have you here. For your busy schedule, we do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Desiree, and thank you, Joe, and thank you, Finbar. And Anne, your honorary patron, I'm not sure if Anne is here or not.
Yes.
Hi Anne, how are you doing? Listen, it's an absolute pleasure to be with you. Ciara Óra agus Eve, and happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. It's wonderful and been a great honour over the last week to have visited New Zealand on behalf of the Irish government and on behalf of the Irish people. To connect with you, our family abroad and our community abroad. We're so fortunate to have such a connection and a diaspora in so many parts of the world. In New Zealand here alone, it's 800,000 people across the 2 islands and many other smaller islands that are part of it that have Irish heritage. And that is represented and replicated in many other parts of the world as well, not necessarily as strongly as it is here, but it's something that I know that we all value very, very much. And in recognition of that, every year for St. Patrick's Week, and government ministers spread across the world to connect with their family in all parts of it. And it's my honour this year to be part of that delegation. I've been joined here by my Secretary General from the Department of Agriculture, Food and Marine, Brennan Gleeson, Advisor Darren Brennan, and Paul Whelan, my Private Secretary. I've also, as part of the Team Ireland effort this week as well, been joined by Enterprise Ireland, Mary Canaan and Niall Casey, for an itinerary which has been ably put together by the Embassy, by our Ambassador, Jane Connolly, and the Deputy Head of Mission, Farron Foley, who has done a wonderful job. Maybe we might actually all give Farron a massive. She has done an absolutely wonderful job, and with Ambassador Connolly, who sends her apologies for not being able to be here, they've done put together a wonderful itinerary. It was my great honour this morning to be able to officially cut the ribbon on the new embassy building in town. And that represents a significant step forward by the government and recognition by the government of the value of our relationship with New Zealand. And it has been reciprocated as well by the New Zealand government through the opening of an embassy in Dublin 4 years ago as well. And that has made a massive difference to the New Zealand engagement in Ireland, and particularly in the agriculture, food and marine space. It has enabled a lot of new collaboration to take place. This last year, whenever the Minister for Agriculture, New Zealand Minister for Primary Industries visited Ireland, we signed a €7 million joint research project to do joint research in the area of emissions reduction in agriculture and sustainability. And that's something that we're going to continue to build on now over the time ahead. We've had a number of different aspects to our visit between Christchurch and Auckland and Wellington now. Every part of the trip is involved a meeting with the Irish Business Network, meeting the Irish business community, meeting community groups such as yourselves, both the Irish Association in Christchurch, likewise in Auckland, and now finishing up here as our final event before final evening before we go home tomorrow morning and back to Ireland, because we unfortunately a meeting in Brussels on Monday, so we have to go home the day after St Patrick's Day. But I want to pay credit to the work that you have done as the association here, putting together your own centre, your own home away from home here in the Hutt Valley, the Irish Centre here in the Hutt Valley, like has happened in Christchurch and like has happened in Auckland. And that's massively important, I know, for all of you. But it takes great effort and great commitment and personal voluntary time to make it happen and to pull today's events such as today together. So, the work that Desiree or Shirley and many in your committee will be doing is very, very valued indeed. And indeed, that is work that long before we've ever set up an embassy here has ensured that the Irish community has been a family and has had very, very, very strong connections and had the capacity to celebrate events such as today. I've said at a couple of other events that as soon as I arrived, the very first person I met when I arrived in Christchurch was a guy that I had gone to primary school with back in Kildare in North Donegal. I hadn't seen him actually since shortly after I left primary school. And so what was the chances of that in a country the size of this? The first person I'd run into would be him. But the fact that happened is a representation of how many Irish actually are here, how many Irish have made that journey over so many years. It was great in Auckland to be able to, for example, visit the Dave Gallagher statue outside Eden Park, who made a great impact here in terms of setting up and being the first captain of the All Blacks. Met John Green in Auckland, brother of Hugh Green, another Donegal man, who came out here and made a very significant contribution as well to New Zealand life. Likes all of you have collectively, in terms of representing Ireland abroad, building the fabric of what is a wonderful, wonderful country here, building your homes here, and making a home here for each other as well. So it's a great honour and a great privilege to be here and to help celebrate this wonderful national day with you in this very special part of the world. So, Goramina Mayoga Folair for the wonderful, wonderful welcome. A very, very happy La Ela Fadri to all of you, and I look forward to meeting you over the course of the evening, and I hope that you all massively enjoy the day. Goramina Mayoga Folair.